Hello and welcome to part 3 of the monster speaker build. These are some big speakers. Anyway, just a recap of what we've done on the other two parts. We've got the boxes complete. There's the backs right there. We got a terminal board and a place for my volume control. I discussed that in the last video. I'm using a matching transformer instead of a L-pad, and that goes right here. Just like that. I'll fasten it just like that, and that'll be the back of the box. And that'll give a little recess, a little room for the terminals up against the wall or whatever. Right now I've cut these, I guess you could call them cleats, and they go into a dado I cut here. And then I'm going to glue them in place, and that will support the front board. Then we got to divide the box right about here, actually, on this is the top. Divide the box right here, and we'll put the horns up here. And I'll get it more into that in a minute, but first we've got to glue these in. Inch. Okay, I got these blocks of wood here. They're cut to the same size as my horn. Just a little bit under 10 inch, apparently it's metric. And I'm going to screw this divider in from the back side. So, what I got to do here is drill some pilot holes right here. Well, some of you may be wondering about this little leak right there. It probably wouldn't matter, but I'm going to put spacers like that all the way around it. And the bottom one will go the whole width of the box, and then the other piece will be in here. So this piece will cover it up. That's how thick the horn flange is. So the horn will be flush with that edge right there. And on the bottom, I don't know, I'll probably just put some sealer on it or something. But I want to keep the bottom panel removable. That's how I'm going to access the components inside the speaker. The back will be permanent. Oh yeah, plenty of room. Got a little worried there. That doesn't look like there's much depth there between that box and the back of my speaker, but it'll work. Well, they're coming along okay. Made some good progress today. Next thing I got to do is put glue filler blocks right here. Across here and right there. The reason I need to do that is I want my horn to be flush with the edge of this. This bottom board, I got to cut the bottom board too. It's set back. After the board's in there, there'll be a lip here of about 1/2 inch, and that'll be for my grill cloth. I'm going to have a grill cloth on the bottom for dog tail protection. I've got some speakers upstairs right now that got a dent in them from a dog tail hitting them, so I need some kind of dog tail protection. Okay, what I'm doing now is putting internal braces in here to stop vibration. A lot of people go overboard on this step, and I guess it's probably better to go overboard than not have enough bracing, but I think you can go too far with it. The trick to this is keeping it off center. If I put that exactly on center, then that means this cabinet panel and this cabinet panel in the back will resonate at the same frequency and double. So by keeping it slightly off center, it spreads out that resonance. Well, that doesn't look very high tech, but I guarantee it'll be fine. By the time we get the horn in there in the front, it'll be very, very stout. Okay, these strips of wood that I just painted are a spacer, but they also are black because the horn is black. And when I put the horn in there, if there's any gap around the edge, it won't show that big white wood right there, or even stained wood. It'll be black the same as the horn. I think centered would look best, centered on that bottom board. Technically, the woofer closer to the floor gives you a little bit better bass, but that's pretty close anyway. And it leaves me the option, if I want to put a different woofer in there, I can put ports right here. If I wanted to make a ported enclosure, put a tweeter right there. But I don't plan on doing that, but never say never. So we got to cut those holes now. I always hate doing this because it's very messy. Well, this is the hardest part. Sanding with fine sandpaper to take all the raised grain off without sanding through the finish and sanding through the stain. You just got to sand real lightly. Not a lot of work, it's just tedious. Then I can give it another coat, another 2 coats probably. Well, I got 3 coats of finish on both boxes, and I got 1 box assembled. I still got to build a grill cloth. We're going to put together this one right now. This is a very simple crossover network. And a crossover network basically just splits the frequencies between the woofer and tweeter. And the coils filter highs and capacitors filter lows. Now this one's a 6 dB per octave. In other words, for every octave you go up, which is doubling, 500 to 1000 hertz is 1 octave, it goes down 6 dBs. It's a very gentle slope, very forgiving. We're going to start out with that. It'll probably sound good. I may end up altering it later, but we'll see. I'll get more into that later. Let's get this box put together. I mentioned it earlier. If you don't remember, I'm going to make this so 1 terminal goes to the woofer and 1 goes to the tweeter, but I will connect the 2 of them together so that 1 speaker wire going to it powers both speakers. And the reason I'm doing that, in the future I might want a bi-amp. These are extra long terminals. I've never seen them even made like that. But that's what we're putting in there now. Well, my neighbor donated this wild looking rug, but it came in handy. Actually, it was sitting by his trash can and I grabbed it. Okay, I've got all my wires kind of halfway cut. Let's see, red's on the left on the back. I did something here that I probably should not have. These speaker terminals are not isolated from the wood. I don't think it'll make any difference. I've done this before. I don't usually do that though. A lot easier to mount it like that. Shouldn't make any difference. I took an ohmmeter to it, and it does not conduct. Fairly sensitive ohmmeter too, so we should be in good shape. There it is. I did something kind of interesting here. I wrapped the wire around a rod and then twisted it and then soldered it. The reason I did that is crimp-on terminals are notorious for not making a good connection or even slipping off the wire. This will not slip off. Woofer, tweeter. This tweeter wire goes to my volume control. Goes to my, from the volume control to the tweeter. I'm calling my mid-range horn the tweeter. I'm using these little crimp pin connectors. It's like a little pin that can then be put in the clamp on the control. I don't know what you call them, but they work great. I guess they're pretty common for electronics. This little impedance matching volume control is well made and well labeled. Outputs left and right. output right. See, this is meant to be stereo, and I'm using one in each speaker box, which was kind of expensive, but it allowed me to separate them instead of having this by the stereo and then the separate wires going to the tweeters. Let's see, positive, right. Okay, I'm using hot melt glue where that wire is going through that box, because this box needs to be sealed. Well, I ran out of weather stripping. I was going to put weather stripping around here and around here so that at a future date I could take out the front boards or the mid-range horn. And I ordered it from Amazon. It was supposed to be here tomorrow, but now it's supposed to be here 2 days from now. So I'm not sure. I guess I could put it together and try it without the sealant. Means I'd have to take it apart again later. Let's try that. Okay, I just weighed that and it's 9 pounds. So I need 6, 7, 8, 9, 5 to 6 pounds. Need to take it down to 5 to 6 pounds. Always more than I think it should be, but they say, the experts say 1.5 or 1 to 1.5 pounds per cubic foot, and this is 5 cubic feet. Let's put this front board on without a gasket. It's nice they put a gasket on both the front and the back of the speaker. A lot of them just put them on the front. Only thing I don't like about this speaker, so far anyway, is it doesn't have the nice push terminals. You got to use those little crimp-on connectors, and I don't like those. Well, there they are. That's a good sign. I know that's a crazy way to test a speaker, but it's some deep bass. It's a sign that it might have enough bass. We'll see. Not going to get overly optimistic right off. Well, I think that's it for today, and I'll pick this video up tomorrow. We'll give them a try. Okay, I'm making some grill cloths here. Many years ago, growing up, I went to some speaker building classes in Seattle, Washington. A company called Speaker Lab sold kit speakers and gave free classes on how to build speakers. And that's kind of where I got my start building speakers. And this is a grill cloth technique that they used, and it's pretty ingenious and simple. I put some copper rods. They're actually copper-plated welding rods right there, so that they're paired together. If I want a bi-amp, I'll take them apart, take the jumper out. Holy cow, that's big. Future plans is to actually do away with this and move my TV overs so that the speaker can come this way a little bit. That is a huge. I hope the wife tolerates this. Well, I got no sound out of my left tweeter. So let me investigate this and we'll get back to you and see what's going on. Well, this is actually fairly easy. I went right to it. I didn't know it, but that is a plug. This whole assembly unplugs, and it had unplugged itself when I was putting it together. So that's good. Well, let's make this speaker grill cloth and then test these speakers. I've had a hard time finding royalty-free or copyright-free YouTube music or any music to demo these speakers on, but I found one that's okay. But anyway, we'll do that in a minute. Started out with this frame here, got rounded edges on it, and I've got some, I think they call it double knit fabric. It feels like synthetic t-shirt material maybe. Been a long time since I've done this. Hopefully it comes out okay. I'm going to stretch it around this frame. Move the camera a little bit. I had to cut out, I did that off camera. That's where the woofer clearance is needed. But other than that, it should work pretty good. I've got a air-powered staple gun here. Wish me luck, because I haven't done this in a long time. You got to kind of stretch it lengthwise. This is the way I do it anyway. Start at the corners. Has to be fairly tight, but not super tight. And that's, I know that's kind of vague, but it's going by my memory anyway. I know if you get it super tight, it looks kind of funny. It looks stretched. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks real good. Now I'll have to make the next frame and put some Velcro on it to hold it in the speaker. Okay. There's a major problem playing music on a YouTube video due to copyright restrictions. And if I play popular music, I could lose my ability to post on YouTube. So I don't want to infringe on a copyright. So I looked up royalty-free music, and this is about all I could find. It's good music, but it's not really what I wanted to demo the speakers on. But here it is anyway. Well, maybe this is not the best to demo speakers on, but missing Velcro. I didn't have any Velcro, so I used tape. Well, that about wraps it up for today. I'm fairly pleased with them. I still got some tweaking to do. Maybe tweak the crossover frequencies a little bit. I might make one more video discussing some of the testing procedures and specs on speakers and how you apply all that. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell.